up out there and you can learn guitar land? Today we're going to do a little mix of a pentatonic scale, as usual, and some rhythm. So we're going to find a way to kind of take maybe a minor-y sounding chord out of that first position, pentatonic, and kind of throw some notes in there and get a real percussive, kind of vibey, groovy rhythm going. And I'm going to show you an easier way and then kind of progressively get up to a more punchy, intricate, there we go, that's the word I'm looking for, rhythm. So let's get started. As always, sorry, I almost forgot. The good stuff. I mean, the video, throw that away, but the links and the other stuff Marty gives you for free, that's what we're talking about. So don't forget about that. If there is any, always check. He's got lots of sites and songs and always something for free. He's the man. So anyways, check the links and let's get started. So we're going to start off easy and kind of progressively build up to something harder and harder. So let's start here. We're going to do in a B minor pentatonic. You know, right? So we're going to work out of that scale, and we're going to work out of one of these B minor chords. In case you're wondering what I'm doing, you can either use your second finger and bar the D, G, and B strings, and then use your second finger here and put it on the B note, or you can use your thumb like this, like what a Hendrix would do. He uses this so he can get to a lot of the different spots in the pentatonic. Right, so you can cover that chord, but these fingers are flexible to get around to all those different notes. So in this particular case, we're not going to get to the chord part. We're just going to do a straight rhythm out of mixing two of the positions in the pentatonic. If you're looking at this one as the first position, then this would be part of the last position, which would be right, and you can check Marty's site for some other videos on pentatonic scales and all the different positions. But all that aside, let's start this. So we're going to do right, and that would be something that you could just do a real vibey, cool drum beat groove to behind, you know, this typical real basic drum beat. And any of you out there, I just want to throw this in there, by the way, if you have like a Apple, or I don't know what the PC version of it is, but any sort of recording software, whether it be GarageBand or Pro Tools or any of those programs out there that come with drum loops, I highly recommend just pick different loops and try to play along and like maybe incorporate this lesson and the stuff it's teaching you, but try to play it to a beat so you can find what it is to sit in the pocket. And in another video, I'll throw some drum tracks in the background so you can hear what I'm talking about. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to show you a couple ideas. Anyways, but really try to find out how to play off that kick drum and snare and get into what's called the pocket. And that's when music really starts to feel good. So anyways, here we go. So we're going to do... Okay, so let's break that down really slowly. We got... All right, so... you know, as always, use this hand when you're doing that. Drape your fingers across the other string so you're muting. You know, you don't get a lot of extraneous string noise. Yeah, that's a good one to say 10 times fast. So anyways, and then you can also use your palm over here to help mute as well. Now what I'm going to do is, I saw this, I used to have a jazz buddy of mine, this older guy, and he was just an amazing chord player and really cool jazzy guitar player. But then one night he's like, oh yeah, I used to jam in this band and I would bust out some rhythms like this, and he showed me this style, and I was just like, man, that is awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what he was doing. He was sliding into a minor pentatonic, and he was doing a real percussive, groovy sounding riff, but kind of, bouncing all over the place. Right, so what he was doing is he was taking this basic minor chord, which I showed you earlier. So again, that's going to be 7 on the low E, 7, 7, and 7 on the D, G, and B strings. And then what he was doing is he was either muting on this string up here, the low E, and then he would do these punches and just kind of punch in. And then have the bass line going up here. So he would go. Right, so the same kind of thing we were just doing, but he was just adding this punch, and he was doing the punch on the D and the G, 7th fret in this case. Now this isn't exactly what he was doing, but this is the idea. And then using it to slide in the other notes of the pentatonic. Right, so let me just make something up on the spot here. We got. Right, so he was just playing out of the pentatonic scale, but just the way he muted. Right, so let's break something like that down. So what we're going to do is we're going to go top string, and then you're going to skip over this A string in this whole exercise. You're not going to use it at all. And then you're going to jump down to the D and the G. So we're going to go. Again, so really slowly, the first part's going to go. Alright, so it's down, up, and then we're going to do a punch on the 7th fret of the D and the G. And then catch it again on an upstroke. So we got. And then the next one is going to be. The next one's a upstroke, so that's 1, 2, 3, up. So we got. And then the next one's like the first one again, so we got. Right, and so the next one has that little slide in there instead of punching it twice again. So again, really slow, it's. Right, so we're just playing with that scale, and you can mix and match and punch however you want, but that's a basic idea. You're going from up here and then punching in. You can add in more chords to get, what I'll do sometimes is I'll pull another note out of this minor scale, and then instead of 7 and 7, I'll do 7 and 6, and then I'll let those bottom strings ring open. So we got. Right, so once you get that down, not moving around very much, then we can go and add these other notes in here. So we can have... Right, so instead of doing all the punches down here, now I'm going back into that thing we were doing in the beginning, out of that last position of the pentatonic, and I'm going down to the 5th fret and going, right, so it's down, up, down, up, down, up. Right, so it punches however you want. Right? Or all right, so what we can do now, we have the right, and we have the let's take and add maybe some of the punches down here, like a Foxy Lady kind of esque. So we got so that's just the right. And also you got the, so if you incorporated it all together, you could have right, and then you can also just bust out from that and go straight into a pentatonic, which I'll just give you some ideas, and then you can kind of do whatever you want. Right, so that's just some real aggressive pentatonic runs you can do. You can do like the, I'll show you that last one. It's right, so breaking down real slow is that's 7/7 on the G string, and then you're gonna do a pull off on the 9th fret to the 7th fret, and then hit the 9th fret of the A. So we got, and then we're gonna go. So that's gonna hit the 7th fret on the D, 9th fret, and slide down and pull off to 5. So we got. So that's 1, 2, off, and that's on the 7th fret. So in context, that's oops, kind of changed that one up a little bit. So let's try that again. Right? So you can add riffs like that in there too. I know this is kind of fast and going by quickly, but I'm just trying to give you ideas to play in that sort of a context of rhythm playing. So yeah. right? So any of that kind of stuff. So just start experimenting and using that pentatonic as a rhythm device. And you can just vamp off that one chord as your kind of center and then play. Right? And just use all those different notes. To mess around with. All right, so give that a shot. Once again, click the links below. Have fun with it. Get crazy. Don't be afraid. Just go out on a limb and just get nuts. All right, catch you guys later. Wow.